So the first one is types of cloud based on deployment models. So let's say you are a customer and you wanted to move to cloud deployment. So then like what are the types of cloud available to you? So based on that, you can select which cloud you wanted to go with and what are the services available, etc. So basically, it is categorized into four parts, which is first one is public cloud. So public cloud is nothing but cloud infrastructure owned and operated by a third-party provider, made available to multiple customers over the internet. So for example, you all are well aware the Amazon, Microsoft, Azure, Google Cloud, and Oracle. There are a number of cloud providers are available. So they actually, manage all the infrastructure on the behalf of you. So and it will be available over the internet. So this is called public cloud. And then we have something called private cloud. So private cloud environment is dedicated to a single organization, often hosted in on-premises or by a third-party provider. So private cloud is nothing but, for example, consider your own data center. So that is nothing but a private cloud. So now you may have a question, why the second, which is third-party provider. So for some organization, managing a data center is not, feasible. So in that case, they will go with the third-party provider. Basically they will manage on the behalf of the customer. So don't confuse with the public cloud. So public cloud is something which is over the internet, and the third party, basically we refer it as MSP and etc, right? So basically they will manage all your hardware, servers, all those things. So you may, charge them, like they may charge you some subscription based or whatever the model they, they're choosing to bill you. So basically, in private cloud, you may have your own servers which will be deployed on top of VMware infrastructure or Nutanix or Hyper-V. So all this comes into the private cloud. So it's typically our traditional data center. Then we have hybrid cloud. So hybrid cloud, it is a combination of public and private cloud that allows data and application to move between them. So basically, let's say the customer he wanted to host some application in the cloud and some in the on-premise. For example, consider a banking customer. So he wanted to host his core banking applications in the on-premise itself because of data regulatories and all other compliance and risk-related regularities. So they don't want to host it in public cloud. So in that case, they will choose those workloads to be on the on-premise. And however, the customer wanted to host some other workload. For example, let's say Citrix or VDA related or SharePoint or any other non-sensitive application to be in the cloud. For example, Microsoft Cloud or other AWS Cloud. In that case, he wanted to maintain two things. One is on-premise to host the critical workloads, such as core banking, as I told. Another one is non-sensitive workload, which will be in the cloud. So in this case, the customer, for example, this is the customer, he should have two infrastructure. So this is called hybrid cloud. Hybrid cloud means he is making use of the both the world, like on-premise as well as the cloud. So here, either you can deploy Microsoft Stack or AWS Outpost. So basically, Stack is nothing but a hardware or the Microsoft provided, you can say the hardware or servers, whatever. So they will come and deploy on your on-premises data center. Similarly, AWS Outpost, this is also same concept. AWS will have a dedicated hardware instead of keeping it in their cloud. So what they're going to do, they will deploy on your data center. So all your applications can run locally over here. So this is called hybrid cloud. And then the last approach is multi-cloud, utilization of public cloud from different provider. For example, uh, let's say the customer A. So customer A, he wanted to make use of multiple cloud. The reason for this, because for example, let's say he is having some critical workloads that he wanted to use, host it in Microsoft Azure, for example, and some other non-critical workload, for example, non-production. So he don't want to use Azure for that. He wanted to use AWS. So this is one reason. Another reason is, for example, let's say some companies will have some strict governance policies where they have to think about, let's say, if I'm a customer, if I'm moving into Microsoft Azure, so I have a policy in my company. For example, let's say if Azure goes, let's say due to some geopolitical reason, etc., if Microsoft stops providing Azure services in my region, for example, consider Russia. So when after the war, during the war, Microsoft suspended all the services, right? In that case, you should have a backdoor. So it should not be like you don't have anything. So in that case, you have to consider multiple cloud. Okay. So if something goes wrong on the Microsoft side, so you should have some other backdoor to host your application and make sure that users are able to access or end users are able to access your services. In that case, many companies will think about the multi-cloud approach. So this is one of the reason, and another reason is Microsoft may not have all the services in their cloud. So in that case, you have to choose some other cloud for hosting your that particular workload kind of services. So these are the high level. If you go in deep, you will find a number of reasons why you need to choose multi-cloud. So this is the brief about types of cloud based on the deployment models.